Hi there. Have you ever faced that moral dilemma where you have the desire to play a Sega Genesis but you have no idea where your Sega Genesis is? Because let me tell you, that feeling is horrible. One of the worst in the world. But you're still stuck with that craving. So what could you possibly do to fulfill your 16-bit needs? I have something that might help. Voila, we have the Sega Genesis Arcade Legends 2 by Radica, which I don't know if they're still operative or not today. Anyways, I'm not sure if that's the official title of this because I've lost the box this long ago. I've had this for a while. Now, basically what it is it's this little thing right here has 6 Sega Genesis games for you to play. They're all in here, and look, no cartridge required, which means you need no fancy blowing tricks. And what you have here is connected to it, your controller. Woo-hoo, isn't that just dandy? Now, this came out back in middle of 2000, around that time when a bunch of plug-and-play games were popular or being made in mass production. I missed those days. There was a couple of those I really wish I could have gotten a chance to try out. But this is one of them. There is also another version of this, which is Arcade Legends. There's no 2 or anything. This is the sequel to it. And it had a blue controller and 6 different games. This one includes one of the best Genesis games ever made, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And as you can guess, the other one had Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on it. But enough talk about the gimmicks and timelines, let's go ahead and look at what's actually in this thing. And voila, Radica, Sega. Here we have it. Sega Genesis Arcade Legends. The 2 is not on the screen because, well, I don't know why. I don't know if this is actually 2 or not. This is just the second version. That's why I refer to it as it. Anyways, what we have here is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the Ooze, Gain Ground, Alex Kidd and Enchanted Castle, Columns, and Ecco the Dolphin. I'll admit that the first one has better games on it because it has Sonic 1, Golden Axe, and Altered Beast on it. I don't remember all the other ones, but unfortunately, well, Sonic 2 is the best game on here. The Ooze isn't that great. Columns is a generic puzzle game, and Alex Kidd is pretty basic too. Gain Ground's actually surprisingly fun as well. And Ecco the Dolphin is fun if you have patience. Also, you're gonna have to mind how I'm handling the camera angle as I record this because, well, I don't have a tripod. And I can't capture this any other way. Just to show you that it works, let's go ahead and launch Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Because that's a game everybody knows, and if they don't, then they are heretics. I love that. So as you can see, as I awkwardly control this one-handed, let's just get this into a little bit perfect position. Yep, you see you can move, jump, everything you could do in the original Sonic 2 is still here. And it plays fairly well too. There's, you know, basically just an emulated version of this. I should start playing all games I play in one-handed, because this is actually going fairly well. Man, I'm so godlike. Anyways, yeah, every other game plays fairly well. It's like, well, essentially playing a Sega Genesis, except you don't have to blow into cartridges, and I will be perfectly honest and say this isn't perfect. Wahoo! I think I almost made it through without getting hurt. So like I said, this thing is not perfect, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, this thing doesn't run on AV power, it actually runs on batteries. That's not really a flaw, but it can be a pain sometimes. As opposed to where you could play a console, you could just plug it straight in, you've got to spend money to buy batteries. Next, other thing I have to complain about is this button is not an authentic Genesis controller. The pad does not feel as good as a regular Genesis controller, and the buttons feel cheaper and harder to press. So yeah, it's not the perfect replication of the Genesis, but, you know, what can you do other than buy a real Genesis? Really wish I could find mine, because there was a ton of games on there that I really liked. Another issue that I do need to bring up is that I have had this thing freeze on me several times when I played Sonic 2 and Game Ground. And I don't know what could have triggered it. It might have just been... It could be age, or it could just be faulty hardware, or what, but... Yeah, it has frozen on me a couple times. This has been a problem with a lot of plug-and-play games I've played in my time. Aside from those flaws, though, you've got 6 Genesis games on here, so you can fulfill that need to play 16-bit video games. With that, if you're like me and can't find your Genesis, and don't want to, you know, use emulation. Unfortunately, this isn't retail anymore. I'm pretty sure anyways where it is, where I live, I don't see this sold in retail anymore, because it's old. But I'm sure you could probably find it on Amazon if you were really interested in finding something like this and collecting for it. I might actually consider getting the original one of these Arcade Legend things because, well, I kinda want Sonic 1, and I still can't find my damn Genesis. So it's decent from what it's worth. I paid $15 back in the day for it. Or, well, my brother did. And, well, it's got games on it. Can't complain there. But if you're more into authentic collecting of games, I would suggest just getting the actual games on cartridge on your Sega Genesis. Otherwise, this isn't a bad thing right here, minus the minor flaws in hardware. Anyways, I'm the Sega Ripper, and I hope that you enjoyed my review of this.